Welcome back to my channel. Today we will be talking about you signing a promise to appear. What if signing one piece of paper could quietly put you on the path to jail even if you never committed a crime? Most people think a promise to appear is just paperwork. Sign it, go home, forget about it. But in reality, that signature can decide whether you walk away free or leave in handcuffs. And here's the part no one tells you. Refusing to sign doesn't protect you. It can actually make things worse, fast. So what do you really do when an officer hands you that paper? Stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to handle this situation without saying the wrong thing, without giving up your rights, and without turning a simple stop into a serious problem. Before we go anywhere further, comment where in the world you are watching from and make sure to subscribe because tomorrow's story is one you don't want to miss. What a promise to appear really is. Imagine this. You're driving home, it's late, you see flashing lights in your rearview mirror, you pull over. Officer walks up, license and registration. You hand it over. A few minutes pass, then the officer comes back with a ticket. Sign here. That's the moment everything changes, because what you're holding isn't just a ticket, it's a legal agreement, a promise to appear in court. Now listen carefully, this is where most people misunderstand everything. Signing that paper is not an admission of guilt. You're not confessing. You're not saying you did anything wrong. You're simply agreeing to show up in court later instead of being taken into custody right now. Think about that. It's actually giving you a way to avoid arrest on the spot. But here's the hidden catch. Once you sign it, you are legally required to appear in court. Miss that court date? A judge can issue a warrant for your arrest. Not maybe, not possibly, will. Let's play this out. Narration. A man signs his citation, tosses it in the glove compartment, and forgets about it. Weeks later, nothing happens. Months later, still nothing. Then, one day, he gets pulled over again. Officer runs his name. Step out of the vehicle. What? Why? You have a warrant for failure to appear. That moment hits hard, because what started as a simple ticket just turned into an arrest, and it all traces back to one thing. He didn't understand what he signed. What happens if you refuse to sign? Now here's where people try to stand their ground, and this is where things go sideways. Same traffic stop, same officer, same ticket. Sign here. But this time the driver says, "I'm not signing anything." There's a pause. The officer looks at him. "Sir, if you refuse to sign, you may be placed under arrest." Driver scoffs. "I know my rights." That's the moment everything escalates, because in many states, that signature isn't optional if you want to walk away. It's not about guilt, it's about acknowledging you'll show up. So when you refuse, the officer now has fewer options, and one of those options is taking you into custody. Watch how fast this turns. Officer, step out of the vehicle. For what? You're being detained for failure to sign. Door opens, hands on the car, cuffs click. And just like that, a situation that could have ended in 5 minutes now becomes hours in a holding cell. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Refusing to sign doesn't cancel the ticket. It doesn't make you look strong. It removes your fastest exit and replaces it with risk. Smart people don't argue with police, they prepare. Subscribe if you're the type who wants to be ready, not regret it later. What's the smart move? What's the move that protects your rights without making things worse? Let's go back to that same moment. Officer hands you the citation, sign here. This time, you stay calm. You don't argue, you don't panic. You ask one simple question. Just to confirm, this is not an admission of guilt, correct? Officer nods. Correct, it's just a promise to appear. Now you control the situation. You take the pen and you say clearly, "I will sign, but I do not admit guilt." Then you sign. That's it. No argument, no escalation. You've just done 3 powerful things at once. You avoided arrest, you protected your right to fight the charge, and you gave the officer no reason to push further. Let's hear how that sounds in real time. Officer, sign here. Driver, I'll sign, but I'm not admitting guilt. Officer, that's fine. Driver, thank you. Done. You drive away. No cuffs, no confrontation. Because here's the strategy most people miss. You don't win legal battles on the roadside. You win them in court. And to get to court, you need to leave that stop without making things worse. Now, this is where things flip, because signing that paper doesn't trap you, it gives you time. Time to prepare, time to think, time to fight back the right way. Let's say the stop was questionable. Maybe the officer had no real reason to pull you over. Maybe they searched your car without consent. Maybe they crossed the line. If that happens, your protection comes from the Constitution, especially the Fourth Amendment, which guards against unreasonable searches and seizures, and the Fifth Amendment, which protects you from self-incrimination. Now imagine this scenario. A driver signs the citation calmly and leaves. Later, they review dashcam footage. They realize the stop had no valid basis. They take it to court. Their lawyer challenges the stop. Evidence gets thrown out. Case dismissed. But it doesn't stop there. If the violation was serious enough, that same driver could file a civil rights claim under federal law. That means the officer's actions don't just disappear. They get examined, challenged, possibly even punished. And it all started because the driver made one smart decision. They didn't fight on the street. They saved it for court. Here's the truth no one says out loud. A promise to appear is not your enemy. Misunderstanding it is. Refusing to sign might feel powerful in the moment, but power without strategy leads to consequences. Real power is knowing when to comply and when to challenge. So remember this when that paper is in your hand. Stay calm, don't argue, don't confess. Sign smart, and then fight the case where it actually matters, because the goal is not to win the moment on the roadside. The goal